Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. MC-Mura here, and in today's video I wanted to talk to you guys about how you can improve yourself at both defending against aerial crossups and of course anti-airing aerial crossups. And this is an idea that dawned on me because I've been playing a lot of Mecha recently, and in the previous patch Capcom nerfed Mika's crouching medium punch, her anti-air, so that it no longer anti-air crossups, right? Now Mika had to rely on jumping back air to airs, like jumping back heavy kick, light punch, medium punch, whatever. This is of course not ideal because with a character like Mika, when you get your opponent to the corner, if you do that you've pretty much reset the neutral, so that kinda sucked for Mika, right? You're not pressing the advantage when you usually want to. And in this patch, Capcom actually adjusted Mika as well. They made her EX wingless airplane invincible to air attacks from the first frame. This means that this attack will now never lose to jumping attacks on startup. So for example, if Dan is even doing his Tatsu kick, this will beat it every single time now. Like there is no trade, nothing of the sorts. And that got me thinking, why not use my new and improved EX wingless, since now I know it is guaranteed to beat air attacks. Why not use it to deal with these pesky cross-ups? And that is what I wanted to talk to you about today, how you can do this, and I'm gonna go over techniques like Mika's where the move is quarter circle forward. I'm gonna cover charge, I'm gonna cover the glorious crosscut DB and all of that. So first of all, let's check out what this should actually look like. When you do it right, it should look something like that, right? So notice my input. I was facing the right, Mika is facing the right, Mika is on the left, and I did a quarter circle forward to the right and did my multiple kicks button for the EX wingless airplane. What you wanna do is you wanna input the kick, you wanna input the special move as that is over your head, and then input the kick as soon as he crosses over you, and the game will autocorrect the input. Let us show it one more time and then I will show it to you guys in slow motion so you can take a look at my inputs. So now let's talk about the incredible crosscut DB. Crosscut DB is when your opponent jump over your head and then you anti-air their cross-up with a dragon punch. So let's check it out. I'm sure if you have seen any high-level Shoto gameplay, you have seen this before, right? And it might be weird for you and you might wonder, how is the Shoto player getting to anti-air? How is he able to input the DB input this quickly? And the truth is that there is a very big trick here. Let's take a look at the input. First, I pressed forward and then quarter circle back plus punch, right? This is basically forcing the game to autocorrect my input. I tricked the game to think that I did the proper DB motion. So for example, to do a DB, you first tap forward and then down and down forward. So if you do it quickly, it should look something like that, right? Forward and then down, down forward and punch. So what happens is I press the forward at first when Dan is jumping over me. So that is the first input, and the quarter circle input, the quarter circle back, by the time I have pressed it, Dan would have crossed over me. So the game will interpret it as if I'm doing quarter circle forward and not quarter circle backwards. And that's why it thinks that I have done the complete DB motion and I will get the DB. Let's take a look at it one more time and then I will show it to you guys in slow motion just so that you can have a better look at it. Having the ability to pull off a crosscut DB on the heat of the moment, of course, is something that takes a lot of practice, but it is very rewarding. When you do that, you have pretty much guaranteed that your opponents cannot jump in on you. You have no blind spots when it comes to anti-airs. Obviously, the ease and difficulty of it from a character to character might vary. Ryu, for example, have it a little bit easier than someone like Sagat because Sagat is a taller character. So it is harder for him to pull that off, and some of the ranges can be kinda finicky. His DBs move forward a little bit, so it is harder for him. And someone like Ryu actually have really good benefits out of the crosscut DPs, because usually they hit really late, right? And because they hit really late, let's check out here, let's have Dan jumping on us one more time. Because they hit really late, it's easier actually to get this than it is to get it with regular jump-ins, right? For regular jump-ins, it can actually be much harder to get the DB to super, right? You can still of course mess it up with Ryu, but generally speaking, it is much more likely to work out when you do the motion proper. Now you can also do this if you are crouching, and it is a little bit harder if you're crouching, because if you were crouching and then you pressed forward and then quarter circle, the game might give you a super. So if we did this again, if you do it perfectly, you could get this, but there is a good chance that the game will give you a super even if you didn't. So to avoid this, you should not go all the way to forward. You will go from down back. Let's here stop Dan from doing that. You will go from down back, down forward, and then down back again. So let's check out how this should look like. It should look something like this. Let's take a look at my input, and once more I will leave it to you guys in slow motion so you have a better look of how it looks. There aren't that many characters in Street Fighter V that have to do a back forward charge attack to anti-airs. I think it's only Honda who actually gets to do that in this game, but still this is a general fighting game knowledge. Maybe a future change, or maybe in other fighting games you might find this information useful. The idea for Honda and the back forward charge is kinda the same as the quarter circle forward or quarter circle motion. It's all about the timing. So here Dan will jump in on us. The issue with Honda is that his heavy butt is slow, right? So because it's slow, by the time it contacts Dan, I didn't get hit by his cross up, but by the time that Honda was active and about to hit Dan, he was able to block, right? So this might not be that ideal for cross ups, so we will use our EX headbutt now, and that seems a lot better. Again, it's all about timing. You're gonna be charging, and as soon as he switches side, you press the original side and the punches, the move will come out and it will auto-correct and you will get your anti-air. I will show it to you guys now once more with slow motion. And of course, for some of the characters, there is no real way to anti-air jumping cross-ups, right? For example, for a character like Poison, if my opponent walks forward and jumps from this distance, I get crossed up. My crouching medium will lose every single time. The best answer for this situation is to not to be in this situation to begin with. You have to space yourself to avoid this as much as possible. If I take one micro step backwards with Poison like that, I actually get to anti-air this. So let's check out this one more time. I'm gonna take one micro step backwards, and this tiny little step allows me to anti-air Dan, right? The one tab of the back button is the difference between me getting the anti-air and me getting jumped in on, right? Of course, sometimes you are a little bit closer, you are not in a position to do that, and if that happens, all you gotta do is to just jump back and button, right? For example, if I'm a little bit too close, I can just jump back. For a character like Poison, jump back, medium punch, heavy punch is a pretty good answer. Of course, some characters like Cody, like young Zeku, and others kinda have to rely on this as well. And that is pretty much it for today's video. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like or a comment. It helps the channel so much. Thank you very much for watching and stay safe.